Today, how to be spiritual AF.
I'm Heather.
And I'm David.
From Zen Rose Garden.
Yes! Helping people create
badass lives. So what is a spiritual warrior? Someone who goes out and fights the good fight, corrects injustice, brings everyone's attention to what's wrong, and gets the masses together and creates a movement and changes something that needs to be changed.
Some examples of this would be Neo, Harry Potter, Luke Skywalker, Van Helsing, all of these warriors, all of these people that go out and do good into the world.
For the masses. And I use these screen examples of these heroes, these social justice, spiritual warrior type characters, because it's very important to understand the archetype that they play out on screen. So here's the real hero's journey that's taking place and what kind of training you need to put yourself through to get there.
Because in order to be that spiritual warrior, you've got to get from wherever the heck you are right now to that state of being able to fight without being wounded every time something goes wrong.
So here's the storyline. All of these heroes start off, they're really strong, they've been in training, they go fight the good fight, but then they get this wall that they hit, and that wall is an externalization of their own fear, their own things that they haven't worked on. So at some point in the movie, in the story, they're the promised warrior who's got all the strengths and the hope for mankind, but they come up against their own emotional, spiritual, mental blocks.
One example of this would be in The Matrix when Neo goes to the Oracle and finds out that he's not the one. Up until that point, he'd had that block and that back and forth battle inside of himself of, am I the one, am I not the one, am I one, am I not the one? Once he finally got his answer, he could let go of the battle inside so that he could go out and make himself the one.
Yeah, she told him, I guess you're not the one, because he was looking for the answer outside of himself. And finally, when he said, oh, I'm the one, when I decide I'm the one, he stopped his little battle with self-worth, getting the answer from someone outside of himself, and just stepped into it and conquered his fear. So with all of these different heroes, they had to go back to the cave, into the hero's journey, and look at themselves in the mirror and go, what are you the most afraid of? And let's look at yourself and conquer that fear. In other words, they had to conquer their inner demons before they could fight the outer demons of injustice.
Absolutely.
Right.
So outside of us and inside of us, we have these demons, these bad guys. These bad guys are an external reflection of our internal fear. So those demons, all of those demons are just your fear that you haven't resolved yet. Once you resolve it, the fear goes away and then you can battle anything without that fear.
Well, there's a Native American saying that says fear makes the wolf become stronger or bigger or seem more ominous than it actually is. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of bad things happening in the world, but we go to those situations with our own unresolved fears and our triggers and our emotional muck. It becomes so much bigger and so much more overwhelming than we can handle that we've just practically shut down and don't want to live anymore. So when we conquer those inner fears, we get in touch with these outer fears that we can do something about, and we're much more effective. We see the situation clearly. We know how to resolve it. We have clarity because our own internal fear is not getting triggered and overlaid on top of that external situation of injustice that's happening in the world.
Because those situations have been happening since the dawn of time. Injustice has happened since the dawn of time. Bad things have happened to good people since the dawn of time. When you resolve your internal conflict, you become a better person, a better warrior for change, instead of showing up as a wounded warrior.
So when Neo goes back and he conquers all of his fears, instead of dodging bullets and doing all of this stuff that's make it really hard, he just goes, and it's so easy and it's no problem at all, and he's overcome his fear, and the external battles are so easy. He's a master. He just conquers them.
And that's what happens when you face your fears and when you deal with your internal demons. Then you can battle anything in the world without your fear getting in the way.
Much more effective. More stronger.
More efficient, more better.
More stronger. I will be back. So I hope that makes sense. Yes, we want to give a shout out
To Aaron Hurley,
Yes.
one of our badass subscribers. Thank you, Aaron, for supporting us.
Awesome spiritual warrior herself.
Absolutely.
All right, for more badass life tips, be sure to subscribe.
And click that bell to turn notifications on.
And we'll see you in the next video.